All right, we're gonna call the 2024 board review to order. Roll call, trustee Bratton,
Here.
trustee Borkland, trustee Brenner,
Here.
trustee Paul Mikowski,
Here.
trustee Borkhardt,
Here.
trustee Kettlebaiter,
Here.
president Langfeld.
Here. Everyone started signing up.
We're gonna not do the pledge of allegiance. Okay, the next one, the confirmation of appropriate board review and open meeting notices. These were both done and in the paper and are such. The next item, select a chairperson for board review. Are there any nominations?
I'll nominate Bobby.
I'll second.
All right, anybody else? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. So moved. Selected vice for chairperson.
I'll nominate Cody. I'll second that.
You don't have to do it.
Well, they're right next to each other.
All right. Any other nominations?
Yeah. I don't plan on turning one of them anytime soon.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. So moved.
I suppose I could have opposed that, but it wouldn't have done. No, it would have been outvoted.
All right, the next item on the agenda, verify that at least one board or review member has met the mandatory training requirements. I watched the videos and then submitted to the DOR the report that I did it this year, so we've met that. Verify that the village has an ordinance for the confidentiality of income and expense information provided to the assessor under state law, Wisconsin statute 7047 7A. I don't remember if I put that in here. Nope, but we do have that ordinance. But I know we have that. Discussion and action to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on April 24th, 2023. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the April
I'll
24th,
second.
2023.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say. So moved. And then discussion and action to approve the minutes from the meeting held on May 13th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the May 13th, 2024 meeting.
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. So moved. The next item, filing and summary of annual assessment report by accurate assessor.
Well, the current ratio is 70% for 2024. Field work was completed July 16th. And reviewed July 23rd. Notices were mailed out July 29th. We held our first open book August 8th. And the open book notices went out the next day, August 9th. We visited during the assessment year, we visited 133 parcels. We reviewed 162 permits. And there were 115 total sales in 2023 in the village. Estimated new construction valuation was $10,260,600. That was residential only. Commercial increase was 31,000. And we had 5 open book appointments where somebody actually made an appointment talking to the assessor. 4 of those were residential, 1 was commercial. Got it?
All right, thank you.
Excuse me, thank you. Can we ask a question?
Sure.
Out of the ones that did do the open book, how did they turn out? How did they, were they okay at the end? Or
They could have talked to any assessor at the office, as far as I know, whatever concerns they had were taken into account and either explain why their assessment wasn't what it was, or they made a change. So I don't have the details on the 5 that actually.
Okay.
talked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was, I forgot the other guy's name that actually was here for open book, but it wasn't Paul.
No, sorry. No, we just did 5 and I was just curious.
And then just a total of 5 that had questions, could have been no changes or just general assessment questions, or there could have been a possible value change.
Okay.
But during a maintenance year, it's a lot less like.
Right, anything else?
Well,
Yeah.
you mentioned 70%. Can you go back? 70%, that's what we're assessed at 70%?
That's the current assessment ratio of 70%, yes.
I didn't think you could go under 90.
Well, the village is out of compliance with the state. 90% is what they go by once any municipalities under 90% or over 110% in valuation considered to be out of compliance, and then you get 3 to 4 years to get back into compliance.
Okay,
Bobby was just saying you haven't got your first notice yet from the DOR saying you're out of compliance.
okay, and
There
were we at 90% last year?
I don't know what it was last year.
I think it was like 84 or something, but
Yeah, I'm just, okay,
There is a scheduled market update, intermarket update for 2026.
right.
Question, what does that mean, 70% of what?
Based on market, what the DOR would say is would be market value.
Or 70% of the fair market value?
Correct.
So the state feels they're getting ripped off because we're not assessing at,
Correct.
We should be assessed at a higher rate.
yeah, 90 at minimum. You know, 100's perfect.
Difficult to keep it at 100.
Oh, I know that, I know that. It's just 70 seems really low, seems low to me. Because I remember last year we weren't in the 70s at all.
no.
So to drop that much, it seems like a huge, drop.
It's not. We do 110 different communities in the state. It's not unusual.
Okay,
Like east side of Madison, Stoughton and McFarland over there. Municipalities that do market updates every year, they're seeing anywhere from 8 to 15% increases year over year.
holy moly. Well, the reason I'm obviously not excited about that is we're gonna have another year where people's assessments are gonna go up. You know, 50, $100,000, and then we're gonna have a room full of people.
Well, we will work, it's very possible.
Yeah, I remember I was on the board the last time that happened.
And that must have just happened in Monona, because I have heard from my friend how hers went. And
Just,
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Could any of that be from like the market surge? When
Well,
houses were valued at 250 and someone's
yeah,
giving
selling for it.
370 for it?
People are.
It's definitely based on the market, Wisconsin
Yeah.
fair market state, so that's the number
Right.
one thing we look at is a sales analysis to see what. If your house didn't sell, see what a similar home in the area did sell for, and then you're gonna get. A similar increases to what the actual sales.
Yeah, I kind of went through like the book, it was online. Okay, it was kind of noticing, it's like noticing houses, and it was obvious ones that had sold were. Higher assessment, I'm like, oh, this house hasn't sold in a long time, I was like, that house is only worth that much compared to what other houses were selling, which is where I think. We're talking this discrepancy is coming from, because I was
That's
shocked at how some of the houses, what they were valued at, especially ones that have been known for 20 years, I was like, these seem kind of low. When you look at some of the recent sales around them.
yeah, but I can tell you when the housing bubble blew, I didn't see a lot of, assessments go down.
Yeah,
You know, that's the part that,
right.
you know, I have no problem using market value, but then. It certainly doesn't do that when it goes down, because it would have a huge negative.
I do feel like we're caught up, like for years, when I would look at values and I look at the fair market value, I knew like I could add quite a bit when I was trying to figure out like HELOCs and so forth.
Yeah,
But I feel like we are pretty caught up, what the value of our fair market versus what, if I had to do an appraisal, are pretty caught up for a lot.
Specifically for the village across Plains.
Yeah, for us, yeah.
Well, the ratio is 70%.
I know, that's why I'm surprised, I am surprised, but.
yeah,
But I probably look at more newer homes too, that have, you know, they're probably. They're
Probably closer
yeah,
to.
Yeah,
yeah, that's an average, obviously.
Yeah.
But you're looking, just take the value of your house and multiply it by 30%, and that's what technically it could go out. We're talking about some big dollars.
Just to clarify that, if you're at currently, say you're at 70% and to raise it back up to 100, and it's actually more than 30% increases, because you're going from 70, you bumping up 30%, it's not 30% of the.
Right, no, I understand,
It's
yeah,
more like a 45%.
right, I was just making it easier for people to understand the math, 10% of your value times 3, that's the minimum. If, Okay, good,
So that's for 2026 though.
great.
Those sales haven't really even, well, I suppose in 2026, we would be using sales analysis from 2025 and 2024 sales.
Yeah.
Right, 2 years of data. Not unusual.
Right, anything else at the moment? Okay. Next, receipt of the assessment roll by the clerk from the assessor.
We'll have to sign the affidavit.
It's easier for me.
Municipality to see.
All right, next, review the assessment roll. So I have already went through the roll online and verified. Like, kind of all the new homes and lots that sold to make sure that they caught everything, and so I'm happy with. The roll, but we have plenty of time, so we can pass the book around if anyone wants to look at this, otherwise it is available on their website too. We wanna take the time to. Review it, we have plenty of time.
No, that role with the village across. It's county.
On the outside it
Yeah,
does.
okay.
Yeah.
My bad, I did not catch that.
I'm just like-
I noticed it.
We
I'm
have
like,
it, it has the village crossplays in our data.
Yeah, I just was making sure.
I didn't have the roll book
We're
on
not
top of
even
it.
using our front plate data.
It's on their website.
yes, it is on their website. I think if you go to our website, I might have it linked. That's easier.
Yeah, I was able to find somehow. Right of them. There's no strings in there.
Can we move on while that is going, or is that the last? I see there's a few more.
Well, once everyone's examined, say they're, I mean, that. To my knowledge, there's
So we
no
all
corrections
have
to be
sit
made.
here Watching people.
I guess, is everyone okay if we? Move on and. I don't know how much looking people are looking into, okay. So at this time, there's no corrections to be made or omitted properties. Next, discussion and possible action to certify all corrections of error. So we're not aware of any at this time. Allow for taxpayers to examine the assessment data. There are no taxpayers here.
Yeah, since the other than us.
Well, okay, other than the people in this room. There are no additional taxpayers. Consideration of requests for waiver of the board review hearing, allowing property owner to appeal directly to the circuit court. I have not received any. So we do not need to consider any. Consideration of request for waiver of the required 48-hour notice of intent to file an objection. Again, there's nobody here, and we did not receive any 48-hour notices or requests to waive that. The next section is hearings. I'm not gonna go through A through H because we don't have any hearings, there's nobody here. And then deliberations for any hearings, we do not need to deliberate, there's no hearings. And then there's no preparation or mail notices of decisions to do either. So at this time, I will pause the recording. We will not discuss any official business or act on anything on the agenda. All right, we've resumed the recording. We did not discuss any official business and no action was taken. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I will make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. Motion or meeting adjourned. Thank you.